1953. A woman at a porcelain basin in a cotton slip. A bar of ivory soap and a folded washcloth. She has never once owned a bottle of body wash, and she has never needed one. These are 20 hygiene rules that every American woman in the 50s understood without being told. They passed from mother to daughter, and then they vanished. Not because they failed, but because someone decided there was money in making women forget. Now, before we dive in, tap that subscribe button. You will not want to miss what is coming next. Number 20. The sanitary belt and the silence around it. Every woman in America managed her monthly cycle with a cotton pad held in place by an elastic belt with metal clips. Nobody spoke about it, not once. The Modus Contour Belt, the Kotex Wonder Form. A narrow elastic strap on the hips with two metal hooks, one in front, one in back. The pad had long fabric tabs that threaded through the clips. A box of 12 Modus cost about 35 cents in 1954. Sold behind the pharmacy counter in plain brown wrapping. The word napkin was the only public language allowed. Girls learned the system from their mothers in whispered bedrooms. No health class, no pamphlet, just a belt, a box, and a closed door. An entire generation handled this without complaint, without a single public word, without a product designed to make them feel broken for having a body. The silence was the rule, and the silence held dignity in it. That silence shaped every part of daily life, and the first rule of each morning started before the sun came up. Number 19. The morning Listerine. Gargle. Every morning began at the sink with a capful of Listerine held in the back of the throat for 30 seconds. Not swished, gargled. The amber glass bottle with the paper label. The burn of eucalyptol and menthol. It stung the soft palate. Eyes watered. You held it. You did not spit early. A bottle cost 49 cents and lasted a month. The ads in Life magazine warned about halitosis as a social disgrace. But the gargle was never about fear. It was about starting the day clean from the inside out. There was something disciplined about that burn. You were not awake until you endured it. It was the alarm clock the body understood. After the gargle came the part of the morning nobody sees in old photographs. It happened behind a locked door with a washcloth and a bar of soap. Number 18, the daily sponge bath at the basin. A full bath was a weekly event, but every single morning a woman stood at the basin and washed her entire body with a cloth, warm water, and soap. Ivory soap, a dime a bar. She started at the face and neck, then under each arm, then behind the ears. If the house had no water heater, she heated water on the stovetop. 8 minutes. The mirror fogged just enough to soften her reflection. The daily shower did not become standard in American homes until the mid-1960s. She was clean every day of her life. She did not need 40 gallons of hot water to get there. After the sponge bath came the final step that sealed everything in, the one kept in a round white container on the back of the toilet tank. Number 17. Talcum powder in every fold and crease. After washing, she dusted powder under her arms, beneath her breasts, between her thighs, and across the back of her neck. Every morning, without exception. Johnson's baby powder in the white tin with the blue label, 25 cents. She tapped the bottom and shook a chalky cloud into her palm. She pressed it into every fold where moisture could gather. The powder absorbed sweat before it started. The bathroom smelled of talc and soap. That was the smell of clean in 1953. She did not call it freshness. She did not need a name for it. The powder was the period at the end of the sentence. There was one part of her grooming that followed a completely different schedule, and breaking it was considered almost reckless. Number 16. Washing hair only once a week. She washed her hair once a week, Saturday night or Sunday morning. That was it. The rest of the week, she managed it. Prell in the emerald green tube, 65 cents, or Breck with the pastel portrait of the Breck girl on the label. Washed in the kitchen sink, one lather, one rinse. Set in pin curls or rollers, no blow dryer. Between washings, a boar bristle brush moved the natural oils from root to tip. Nobody washed it daily because nobody needed to. The products that would make that necessary had not been invented yet. Today, the average American woman spends over $900 a year on hair care. Her grandmother spent less than $10. Her grandmother's hair shone at 80. There are women online right now rediscovering this, posting videos of their hair recovering after they stopped washing it every day. Here is something nobody says out loud. Every woman on this list was cleaner than most people alive today. Fewer products, less water, no expert telling her what to buy. She knew because she was taught, and she was taught because the women before her paid attention. The expertise was not purchased, it was inherited. The next layer of that inheritance had nothing to do with the bathroom. It had everything to do with what she wore against her skin. Number 15. The slip worn under every dress. No woman wore a dress without a slip underneath, not for modesty, for hygiene. A full nylon slip from Vanity Fair or Barbizon, $1.25 in 1955. It sat between the body and the outer garment. It absorbed perspiration. It kept dress fabric from clinging. It protected woolens and silks from body oils that would stain the cloth over time. She could wear the same dress 3 times if the slip was changed daily. The slip washed in the sink in 2 minutes. It was the most practical garment in her closet and the one nobody remembers. The cleanest part of her routine was the part no one ever saw. What went on underneath was handled with the same quiet discipline, including a small glass jar on the bathroom shelf. Number 14. Mum Cream Deodorant by Fingertip. Before the roll-on, before the aerosol, deodorant came in a small glass jar. She dipped 2 fingers in and smoothed it under each arm. Mum Cream came in a milk glass jar with a tin lid made by Bristol-Myers, 39 cents. White, thick, slightly waxy. She pressed it into each underarm and rubbed until it disappeared. No fragrance beyond a faint medicinal cleanness. It stopped odor, not sweat. The jar lasted 2 months or more. One product, one purpose, one motion. She touched her own body to take care of it. No plastic applicator, no spray nozzle, just her own fingers doing a job she had been taught to do. That discipline carried straight to the laundry, and what happened at the ironing board would shock most women alive today. Number 13. Ironing every undergarment. Underwear was ironed, slips were ironed, handkerchiefs and cotton brassieres were ironed, not for appearance, for sanitation. A General Electric steam iron at $4.95. The sole plate hissed on damp cotton. Heat killed bacteria. Steam sealed fibers flat. Smoother fabric meant less friction, less irritation, less odor trapped in the weave. Monday was wash day. Tuesday was ironing day. There was no negotiation. The calendar held. She did it while listening to the radio, Arthur Godfrey, or the morning farm report coming through the kitchen. A drawer of ironed undergarments was not vanity. It was proof that someone in that house held the line, that the smallest things were not beneath attention. And the smallest thing she carried with her proved that same point in public, every single day. Number 12. The handkerchief always carried. No woman left the house without a clean pressed handkerchief, in the handbag or tucked in the sleeve. Always. White cotton embroidered at the corner, pressed flat with a hot iron, folded twice. A dime at Woolworth's. She carried it for sneezes, perspiration, a child's nose, a sudden tear. Used, folded, tucked away. Washed that night, ironed next morning. Back in the handbag by 7. The handkerchief said it without a sound. I am prepared. I can handle what comes, and I will not leave a mess behind me. That same self-sufficiency showed up in the medicine cabinet, where one box from the kitchen solved a problem that now fills an entire drugstore aisle. Number 11. Baking soda for the teeth. Arm and Hammer baking soda. Dipped onto a wet toothbrush and scrubbed. That was the toothpaste. The yellow box cost 10 cents. A Dr. West toothbrush with natural bristles. The soda was salty, slightly gritty, mildly alkaline. It scrubbed the enamel without scratching. It whitened without bleach. Some women mixed it with a drop of peroxide for Sundays. Same box she used for baking. Same box she used for the icebox. One product, 3 rooms. She did not need a whitening system. She needed 10 cents and a toothbrush and the sense to use what already worked. Number 10. Ivory soap and nothing else. 1 bar of ivory served as face wash, body wash, hand soap, and in many homes, shampoo. 1 bar, every surface. The white floating bar, 99.44% pure. A dime at the 5 and dime. The lather was thin and clean, no perfume. She washed her face with it. She washed the children with it. She washed her own body at the weekly bath. The bar wore thin and translucent before it was ever replaced. Nothing wasted. Today, the average American woman uses 12 skincare products containing over 160 synthetic chemicals before leaving the house. Her grandmother used 1 bar. And right now, across the internet, a growing number of women are going back to that 1 bar of soap and nothing else. They are spending less and seeing better results. The industry does not know what to do with them. There is a pattern forming, and it deserves to be said plainly. These women solved every problem of personal cleanliness with a handful of tools. What came after was not an improvement. It was a replacement that charged more for doing the same job. And the discipline that ran through the bathroom ran through every closet, every drawer, and every washboard in the house. Number 9. Borax and bluing in the wash. Laundry had its own quiet chemistry. Borax went into the wash water, and bluing went into the rinse. Whites came off the clothesline, so sharp they could blind you. 20 Mule Team Borax cost 25 cents a box. It boosted the soap, softened hard water, and helped kill bacteria in undergarments. Mrs. Stewart's bluing meant a few drops in the final rinse to stop yellowing. She poured boiling water from the kettle into the wash tub for the whites. The shirts and sheets came off the line glowing. The whole house smelled of hot borax and wet cotton, steam rising from the wash tub, her forearms red from the effort. Wash day was Monday. That schedule never moved. Clean laundry was not a chore. It was a public declaration. The neighbors could see the clothesline, and the clothesline told the truth about you. That same care followed the garments into the closet, where one sharp smell kept everything safe through the seasons. Number 8. Camphor and cedar in every drawer, every linen closet, every dresser drawer, every garment bag held a cedar block, a camphor ball, or both. Moth prevention was not optional. Camphor wrapped in cheesecloth in the corners of drawers. Cedar chips in cotton bags between folded sweaters. Laned cedar chests at the foot of the bed holding woolens through summer. You felt the sharp sting when you opened the hall closet. If you ever opened your grandmother's closet, you already know the smell. It never left you. Decades later, one whiff of cedar and you are 10 years old again, standing in her hallway. She was not protecting fabric. She was protecting labor. Every garment had been washed by hand, hung to dry, pressed, and folded. A moth was not an inconvenience. It was an insult. Not everything she took care of was visible. Some things she handled in silence with nothing but a yellow box from the kitchen. Number 7. Cornstarch in the places nobody mentioned. A box of Argo cornstarch from the pantry was used on the body, between the thighs, under the arms. Wherever skin touched skin, the yellow box cost 15 cents, softer than talcum. She shook it into her palm and pressed it where it was needed. It absorbed moisture instantly and left no residue. Nobody discussed it. No product was marketed for this purpose because the kitchen already had the answer. The most private rule on this list is also the most practical. She solved it for a nickel and never said a word. What she kept private indoors, she armored in public. The next 2 rules were visible to everyone she met. Number 6. White cotton gloves, worn outside the house. A woman wore white cotton gloves whenever she left home, to church, to the department store, to lunch. Not fashion, hygiene. Thin white cotton with a pearl button at the wrist. 25 cents at J.C. Penney. Washed every night in the sink, ironed every morning. She wore them on the bus to avoid handrails. She wore them to shake hands. She wore them to handle produce at the grocery. When she removed them indoors, she folded them once and placed them in her handbag. The gloves were a boundary between herself and the world. A woman in clean white gloves was telling you without a word that she held a standard. And that standard included one final inspection before she stepped through the front door. Number 5. Stockings checked before leaving the house. Before stepping outside, she checked her stockings. Seams straight down the back of each calf. No runs, no snags. This was the final checkpoint. Nylons held by a garter belt. The back seam had to run perfectly vertical. She checked it in the hallway mirror, turning to see both legs. A tiny bottle of clear polish sat in her handbag in case a run appeared. 1 drop stopped it cold. A pair cost 65 cents in 1952. Washed by hand each night. Inspected each morning before going on. She owned 2 pairs, one wearing, one drying. A crooked seam was not carelessness. It was a lapse. And lapses were not tolerated by the world or by the woman herself. One thread connects every rule on this list. It is not money. It is not access. It is attention. These women paid attention to their bodies, their clothing, and their households at a level the modern world calls obsessive. It was not obsessive. It was normal. It was Tuesday. The last 4 rules carry that attention into the places nobody saw. The invisible labor, the unquestioned knowledge. Number 4. Vinegar in the rinse water. White vinegar was added to the final rinse when washing undergarments, 2 tablespoons in the basin. Heinz cost 15 cents a bottle. It broke down soap residue clinging to cotton fibers. Residue trapped bacteria, caused yellowing and irritated skin. The vinegar left fabric soft and truly clean. The smell vanished by the time it dried on the line. She did not need fabric softener. It had not been invented yet. What she had was better. She trusted the science before it had a name. She trusted it because her mother did. And her mother was right. Number 3. The girdle worn every day. A woman wore a girdle from the moment she dressed to the moment she undressed, not for shape, for containment, support, and cleanliness. Playtex. Maiden form, rubber and elastic from waist to mid-thigh. Metal hooks at the bottom held the stockings. It prevented fabric from bunching and absorbed perspiration against a cotton lining. $3.95. Washed weekly by hand, rolled in a towel and laid flat to dry. Secretaries wore it, teachers wore it, mothers at the grocery wore it, every single day. The girdle was not about beauty, it was about control. Over the body, the garment, the impression left behind. She never discussed it, she just wore it. One rule remains, the one nobody ever talks about. And the reason for that silence says more about the 20th century than any textbook ever printed. Number 2, the fresh apron every morning. The first garment after dressing was a clean apron, the last thing removed before sitting down at night. Cotton, often in a floral print. A full bib or a half-waist with a pocket. She owned 4 or 5, rotated daily, washed weekly. The apron took the damage so the dress did not. Flour on the front, bleach spots near the hem. She wiped her hands on it 100 times a day, and it bore every mark without complaint. The apron was not a uniform. It was economy. It said without words that she worked hard, kept clean, and wasted nothing. Not fabric, not time, not effort. Every rule on this list can be understood through common sense. Every rule except the last. Because the final unspoken hygiene rule of the 1950s was not common sense. It was something else entirely. Number 1. Lysol marketed as feminine hygiene. The same Lysol disinfectant that cleaned bathroom floors was sold to American women as a douche for decades in full-page ads in every major women's magazine in the country. They ran full-page ads in Ladies' Home Journal, McCall's, and Good Housekeeping. The manufacturer Lane and Fink ran advertisements warning women about the one neglect that could ruin their marriages. The Lysol douche became a top-selling feminine product from the 1930s through the 1960s. Before a formula change in 1952, Lysol contained Cresol, a compound of crude carbolic acid, the same chemical used on industrial equipment. By 1911, doctors had recorded 193 Lysol poisonings and 5 deaths. The ads kept running. Women kept buying. The phrase feminine hygiene in those ads was a code for birth control at a time when contraception was illegal to advertise. That language let the company fill the market while avoiding prosecution. Women read between the lines because they had no other choice. This is the rule that should never have existed. Not because it was unspoken, because the industry knew exactly what it was doing. Every other rule on this list honored a woman's intelligence. This one exploited it. That is the difference between a tradition and a lie. 20 rules. Not one required a prescription, a subscription, or a password. They required a washcloth, a bar of soap, and a box from the kitchen shelf. And the kind of knowledge that passes only from one woman's hands to another. The women knew. The industry forgot to ask them. And somewhere right now, a grandmother is folding a clean white handkerchief. She presses it flat with the heat of an iron. She places it in a drawer where no one will see it. She does it because that is who she is. If you want more forgotten wisdom from the generations who came before us, the next video is waiting for you right now.